Good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful Friday afternoon here as we kick off Royal Palm Juvenile Weekend. Happy to have Brian Naudo back next to me here. Brian, how was your festivities?
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Always good to get away. Always good to come back as well. And you said it. Those two races tomorrow, you're going to have to really be on your game because we just haven't seen any of those horses, basically.
Oh, yeah,
so
I know.
when they pop behind us and out on the track, Samantha will give you all the good reports because I certainly didn't match up the last 2 years with the races tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't either, yeah.
But I kind of feel like they're pretty good tomorrow.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Pletchers and Wards and D'Angelos and Cassies and all things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I felt like this year's, which will be the third renewal of the Royal Palm races, I felt the fields from 1 to 12 were as good. Thanks, guys. As good as we've had, and that's scary for our friends over across the pond because our horses have already made such a dent and an impact over there. A win and a second last year. Yeah,
they really have, and it's exciting too because I think that they get overlooked quite a bit. And knock on wood, in June lately at Royal Ascot, they've had very firm going there. Mm-hmm. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Not ground going.
Yeah.
See, we're savvy with the language now. Put us on Sky Racing. Sky Sports, please don't actually. But yeah, it's so exciting and just so much history with those races, and so cool to see our local jockeys go over there and kick some butt and take some names as well. So of course we'll get into all of that tomorrow, but today we've got the Rainbow Six. It started anew yesterday. There were some singles in the finale. We're kind of kicking ourselves for not playing it because we had it down packed, but 75,000 in that estimated jackpot here today, Brian.
All right, I didn't see that, so that's good. I like that, and it'll grow quickly. And as Samantha said, it certainly wasn't easy. Nobody hit it. So that's silly to talk like that, but I think the longest winner was $13 or something like that.
I think Big Boy Jack paid a bit more than that. I think. So, he was 6 to 1.
6 to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So about $15. Not easy, obviously, but nothing wildly off the wall.
Right. Yeah.
Either, so get involved. $75,000 already.
Well, in the opener, we have a bit of a scratch bug today. We'll kick off the early pick 5 with 6 furlongs, $8,000 claimers on the main track. We scratched the 3, the 4, and the 7 in this spot, but let's see where you went with your ticket.
Yep, $24. A lot of add-ons and takeouts and all that kind of good stuff and bad stuff, really. But I got a single in the opener, always did. Race number 2, I've got the 4 on top, Fighting Words. Race number 3, I've got the 6 on top, and that is a scratch in to Sneaky Sneaky. Race number 4, there is the single. My best bet of the day is Carrington. And in race number 5, I added a couple after a scratch, but I did always have Mintanon on top.
Right.
Carlos David, and boy, that barn has been
Very
mighty
good.
prolific.
Yep, I could not agree more. So now with the scratches in this field, there was probably already going to be a pretty short favorite in the 6, but you're going off with a single right away, and tell me about it.
I mean, this horse was 6 to 5 before the scratches, at least on your morning line, and now I will say this: the scratches were kind of long shots, so maybe the real gang is still intact, but Jen Young and Powder Pop claimed this horse for 8, 2 back, took a real shot last time.
They did,
yeah, against St. Olaf Rose and Puckard and those gals. They're a little out of her element, didn't run poorly, didn't run well. She's back with her friends today. The post is now perfect in a scratch down 4-horse field, and I don't know, it's going to be a short number, but she looks good to me.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with everything that you said, and we'll see Patty's having fun in a little bit later race, so just kind of take note of that race coming back, 2 starts back. But I went to the 5, Kiss Cam, and we'll look at her, as Ron likes to call it, window dressing last time. This was her last victory on February 14th, Valentine's Day. That was fitting for Kiss Cam. I just realized that.
How about that?
Yeah, but she ran really well here, and this was an allowance optional claimer, so a tough field. This was right in the thick of the championship meet. Heck, we saw Slew Diva yesterday. She didn't run too well, but she has put together a win since this race here. And Kiss Cam, I think she's going to need some pace to run at today, and maybe with the condensed field, it might not set up as nicely for her.
Well, it'll probably keep them a little closer together.
That's fair.
So she'll have to outkick them. She is facing older horses
Yeah.
for the first time. Her 2 wins are good. Her other races are not. What kiss cam do you get today? I think we can both agree. You just draw a line through the Tapeta route last
Yeah.
time. Kent Sweezy was trying something. Take a look. We'll see what the stat
Yeah,
is.
we'll see what that is. Yeah.
On Kent Sweezy as well. 18%, 50% tag drop
Wow.
the past 5 years. It is a 50% tag drop, but again, she is facing older today, and it's time that. I don't think it's as big a deal as it was a month or two ago.
You say that, but every horse yesterday in the fields that were older against 3-year-olds, they won.
Okay.
So
well, she hasn't done it yet
That's-
either. So
yeah,
that
that
I
could be
think
a
is
problem.
more of a flag.
Right.
If she's done it, you're going to see a lot of these 3-year-olds that you're going to see going forward. They've already tried it, so it's
Right.
out of the way. When you haven't done it yet, I still think it's noteworthy.
race number 2, it will start the early pick 4. That Tropical Turf pick 3 returns tomorrow in some crazy racing action with those 2 Royal Palm
Oh, yeah.
races in the thick of it. But we'll take a look at my ticket. Maiden 12.5s will go a mile on the main track. I've got a $10 ticket here. Race 2, we're going to get into this in a second. Race number 3, I do have the 2 on top, Bouchero's Dude. Race number 4, I'm singling the 1, Carrington. That's my best bet today. And in race number 5, I'm just going to single the 5, Minton as well. How did you say that?
I said
Mintonon?
Mintonon.
Mintonon. All right. Sorry. I think you're correct on that. So $10 is the play. We scratch the 5, 7, and 8 from this 1 mile maiden claiming event here. And where did you go on top?
Well, I'm just going to try to pop the field with a huge weight break with the 10-pound apprentice. In at 108. Fighting Words is the controlling speed in here. You know, he didn't shut it down terribly last time. He ran third, young jock here, trying to get the first win as a 10-pound apprentice. We'll see if it happens today. Not only is this horse the speed, you look around this race, especially with the scratch at Back in Business, there are horses that, like, I feel like I might be in front of after a quarter mile. That's how lack of speed they have. They are, like, way out the back closers.
Not with a bum leg, but
okay.
yes, I agree.
You get my point.
I
I
get
mean,
your
look at these
point.
horses.
Yeah, they none of them want to be in front, which is a scary, scary thought here.
None of them want to be even in front of a horse early
That's-
on. Some of these.
yeah, that's very fair, and I think that this is a horse that I obviously overlooked. But in a big field like this, it's kind of hard to read between the lines, and that's when you come up with, because you look at the 9, Theo's Thunder. I've tried him the last couple of times as long shots. I thought he was going to get a long shot today. He's not.
Well, come on now. You got Paco Lopez riding. So
I
first
guess.
and foremost, if
But
the
look
horse,
at his prices. I get it.
I know.
want
I
to
got
take 3
that
to 1 on
circled.
him to
I
the
know.
window. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, because this is like the poster child of a horse with no speed at all. He's a Gunnevera. It makes sense. Paco at least is going to humor you a
Get
little
him
bit
in.
and try to
Yeah.
get him in the race early.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to Renzo Rojas whatsoever. Now we're going to, you know, as good a jockey as we're going to have here before Paco heads up the coast. And, you know, here's the scary thing. That last race was right with anybody in here.
That's fair. Here, Tickle, again, just one of those, no speed at all. He's going to need a huge turnaround in order to be a player. Just one of those races that I feel like if you kind of wanted to play a serious early pick 5, you could throw an all ball at it.
First time on the main track off the claim for Carlos David.
Very, very dangerous.
You better look out.
Yeah. Race 3, it's on the Tapeta, 5 furlong sprint. The 1 Grand Joker is out. The 5 front end is out of this race here. And the number 6 for you on top, Sneaky.
Yeah, I don't know how sneaky it is anymore,
Yeah.
but look at the Tapeta race. This is an interesting race. You know, you hear Samantha and I talk a lot about we don't really care about the figures because I don't know what they get you on the Tapeta. Well, Sneaky is not sneaky on figures. He's very fast.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
And they bet horses with high buyers.
They do,
here,
without a doubt. And the 3 Tapeta races are a month better than anything he's ever done on the main track. He is going to face open horses today. He's going to face winners today on the Tapeta. He's a 3-year-old running against older, but to me, he fits like a glove. And here's the other thing. I know the scratch hurts what I'm about to say. There is a lot of speed the 2, 3, and 4 all want to be involved early, and that's, you can see how I played it. The 6 and the 7 are horses, especially the 6 are going to come from off of it a little bit.
Yeah, and that will help quite a bit, especially with being drawn to the outside. The 2, Bouchero's Dude, unfortunately now I get the rail with him, which is not ideal, but that Tapeta victory on debut was a really, really good effort, and I feel like the class relief is going to help here.
I hope that's what it is, because he just, honestly, he looks vastly off form. You're going to lose you'd be lucky to get half of the 12-1 now, and he's going to have to do it the hard way as the inside speed. Another 3-year-old, tackling older, hasn't been bet in his last 2 races either. No. Even last time you would have thought maybe he gets played a little bit. To me, the further and further and further away we get from the January 1st race, the worse he looks.
It is.
We'll
I agree with you there. This is an interesting race where I feel like there's kind of nobody without a shot.
We'll
take a look at Culminate, a stat for the Carlos David barn, because as you mentioned, just such a strong barn right now, and just really is. But look at this, 71% in the money with maiden winners.
Maybe he just pops off, and your horse can get outside of him, because he is very fast.
He is,
44-1 last time, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Rajiv rode a long shot for me, and the horse didn't win, but Raj just dragged him to the finish line, and he ran second. He's getting his mojo back, and he's starting to get pretty darn good, and when he was pretty darn good, he was really good. And I think it's worth paying attention to, as savvy and cagey a front end rider as you're going to see.
Smoke and Jack Flash, this is a horse that took a long time to figure things out, but now as a product of does he have his confidence up? Is he going to continue?
Yeah, and it was a breakthrough win last time too. So he's
one.
Got it going a little bit now, and he drew perfectly to be outside everybody and all the hitters down on the inside. He's not going to let him get too far away, but he doesn't want to get caught up with him either.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back on this 9-race card, we'll have Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow 6 with $75,000 in that estimated pool. Best of luck. We're not.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you, kicking off this Royal Palm Juvenile weekend. Brian, it's good to be here. Good to be here in the sunshine, and we couldn't have asked for better weather lately.
No, it's been phenomenal. Last year we went straight from spring into, I feel like, July,
the depths of summer.
Yeah, it hasn't been like that this year. It's going to be a big Saturday tomorrow with a 10-race card and juveniles galore and those 2 Royal Palm races. So come on out and say hi. But today we'll check out Ronnie's Rainbow 6, right?
Yeah, we will. On the 9-race card, it starts in race number 4. There's $75,000 in that estimated jackpot, and I'll let you read through the mind of Ron Nicoletti with this rainbow.
Wow, well, that's
a scary thought.
It's scary and impossible. You pick the order on that. The spread races in race 5 and in race 7, and I get that, because they are not easy, especially race 7 on the main track. Too deep in race 8. Race 8 you could easily buy too. I found that very problematic.
I think I left one out.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. It's very difficult. They all kind of look the same. on paper. And then Ronnie's single in the last is Chase Sloan. We have a replay of that. We'll show it to you. I guess that's the best bet. Coming out of the Murabah race, he was finally good for you last time.
Finally.
When he was really good. He blasted in that last race. So there's his 3840 Rainbow Six, and again, $75,000 in the estimated jackpot. And as I was not here, but as you alluded to and texted me in anger, and even Ronnie said it when I got in. He said, we should have played it. We could have had it. Both a long shot daily double, I think, for the two of us, or the three of us, I guess I should say. Ronnie and then you and I.
Yeah, it was one of those days, and it just kind of goes to show. It's not like we had the biggest fields yesterday, but I think it can kind of slip under the radar. And hey, we wouldn't have complained with 40.
What are you going to do with $41,000?
Yeah, what is that split between three?
I'm not, I could tell you, but you'd probably just get more mad.
Probably. All right, so we won't talk about it, but we will talk about race number 4 here. It's a mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta track. These are claiming $17,000 level. It's a 6-horse field here. Both of us on the one. Carrington, a horse that off the claim now and just looks down the road.
Yeah, if you're looking to sweep the rainbow today, you're not going to like what we're telling you here, because at a short number, Carrington's supposed to start it out with a W. We're off the claim for Carlos David. We are back on the Tapeta, but he's run fine on the Tapeta. He's got to win. 2L to 3Ls. Okay, I get all of it, but this is a barn now that just been they've been running out of their skin. He's 32% off the claim. Edgard's down here to work something out from the inside. This race clearly goes through Carrington.
It absolutely does. And if it's not him, it's kind of who else here? All of these other runners, they have some middling Tapeta form, but it's nothing that really jumps off the page. You went with the 4 underneath Sassy Alley, who, if anything, has got speed.
Yeah, she'll be on the lead. The question is, if you're a Sassy Alley fan and you need her, what's going to go on with Mobe Princess? Because Lionel Reyes put her as part of the pace last time, and they flew, and she stopped late. I don't know if maybe he takes a hold of her. It was a different kind of tactic. If Raj can get Sassy Alley in front and he's wired with her in the past, then she becomes a little more dangerous. I'm worried about what Mobe Princess is going to do on her outside. Yeah,
I wonder that too, especially because there's a lot of horses in this field outside of Sassy Alley and Mobe Princess that they don't have a lot of speed here. So, Carrington's part of the group too, and one of them will show you the replay. Don't mess with Tess, because she was our long shot last time, and she just won. The reason she doesn't have more wins is because of this right here. She just is always too far behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with Tess anymore, because I'm just sick of picking her. And you know, I have a lot of respect for the job Sam and Herb Walensky do. But
I got him with the first-time starter yesterday.
Yeah, but you said it perfectly. When you're going to employ a running style without a lot of early speed, that's why you're going to do this right there, and you're going to pick up a piece. That's why she's 6 of 46 lifetime with 11 underneath finishes. She runs well every time. But, I'm printing 8 deep here, and I don't see a win. So.
Yeah, no, but she's a tough one to make there. Race 5, it's a claiming $8,000 level. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta track here. We've got a field of, 9. And the 7, Blue Spearman. Blue Spearman is out. We'll take a look at my...
No, you got that wrong, too. It's a field of
10. All right, we'll take a look at late pick.
Oklahoma school system strikes again.
Okay, I am singling right off the bat here with Carlos David. Race number 6. I do have the 6 on top. It's just subtracting 1. I don't know why that was so tough for me. All right, moving on. Valiant Winter I have on top in race 6. I like the stretch out here. Race number 7. I've got the 6 on top. That's Noble Dreamer. Race number 8. I'm using everybody but one horse here, and I hope that's not the one that beats me. Miss Mary Nell is who I have on top. I feel like that's a really tough race. It's a competitive one. All of them look very similar on paper. And in the finale, I've got the number 10 on top. That is Risk Factor. First time gelding, Son of Volatile. On the grass course. So $54 is the play here, and I feel pretty comfortable, Brian, betting $54 to win on the number 5 here.
Well, yes, with the scratch of Blue Spearman
Yeah.
as well. Mintanon will be a short number in here. The 2 Tapeta races are very solid,
Yeah.
especially with a group like this, and they were for Victor Carrasco. Well, now Carlos David's going to take over. 30% with newcomers in the barn. I just feel like you're seeing the horses just run huge
Yeah.
the last couple weeks. Mintanon was arguably probably the horse to beat anyway, and now goes way, way up with a key scratch.
The 11, we've got the exacta, just a one-punch exacta. This horse here, the drop should help,
Yeah.
but the barn has just been so
Nah.
chilly lately.
I get it. This horse is moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, Pete Walder cut him back 2 starts ago, and he ran
Helped it,
so
right?
well. Very slow race, but
Yeah.
he ran well. Now 3-0 has finally decided to win, and 3-0 is pretty good, even though he never wins.
Yeah.
So that was a very good race for 12-5, and now he's in for 8 today. Yeah, he's a big threat in here.
Well, look at the replay of Alpha Blue and Frisian, because they knocked heads. Alpha Blue's last race it was, and Frisian since then has a win
Yeah.
finally. But we haven't seen Alpha Blue since this effort. Well, this is I think this horse is kind of an X factor here.
Alpha Blue,
Yeah,
that's fine. He's really slow.
he is. That's fair.
You know, it's interesting, though, as you said, he hasn't been seen since late February. So even though this is the race Alpha Blue won, they both actually come in off wins because
Right.
Frizen got it done last time.
Yeah.
They're both rising, and here's the other problem. They're both employing the same running style. I was firmly against Alpha Blue today. I'll have to see it to believe
Yeah.
it. Off the layoff, on a rise, as the inside speed, with a lot of it to his outside.
Race number 6. It is 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. These are maiden optional claimers for the $50,000 price tag here. It will start the late pick 4, and this guy's got the ticket.
Yep, we'll take a look at it. It's $24 late pick 4 here. No single, 2 deep here. Race number 7, I've got the 6. That is Noble Dreamer on top. Race number 8, just 2 deep there. The down on the inside, the 1 and the 2. I'm against that Iron Hand race, which will show you.
Yeah.
And in race number 9, this is my long shot, and it's a total guess. The 8, Proud American. Did wake up routing last time. It was on Tapeta. We'll try turf today for Kathleen O'Connell. $24 late pick 4 ticket.
I like it. And we're starting off in race number 6 with a good one. The number, did you go with the 2 or the 4 on top here?
The 4.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Forever Now here.
Yeah.
Paco Lopez, Jose D'Angelo. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Big drop. The Tapeta route, 2 starts back at the level, was
Good.
solid enough. Now, here's the interesting thing. He's meeting some fast horses
Yeah.
in here, but they're turf horses. So we'll see. He's got a little edge on Tapeta, and clearly the Tapeta route off the claim for Jose D'Angelo, 2 starts back, was about the best he's done in quite some time. Hopefully we
Yeah.
can get back to it.
This is a race that I feel like maybe something funny could happen here, because there are some horses, like you said, that have faced some strong contenders
Yeah.
on the turf. The number 6 is where I went, Valiant Winter. The turf race just completely put a line through
Right.
it, because it didn't seem like he wanted any part of it there. But the Tapeta Sprints, the debut on a dead rail, I thought, ran very well and was just gaining with each stride. Now, we haven't seen him since early March, which is
Yeah.
not a good thing, because we run these types of races
Right.
all the time. But maybe there was just some growing pains there, and the 2 turns should definitely, hit him between the eyeballs.
Yeah, he's got it on the bottom with Macho Uno down there.
Yep.
Top maybe not as much with Valiant Minister, but we've got the speed. Edgard's here to see. We'll take a look to the left and see what's going on.
Yeah.
If nobody wants to get hot and bothered early, Edgard with that sprint speed has got the ability to clear off here. There, but to me, I thought they're going to hit pretty good in here. The 1,
They
2,
could,
and
yeah.
3 all want to be part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Early on, but I don't have any knocks with what you're doing here. A fresh new face probably isn't a bad thing.
Well, look at the replay of the We Are Back Young Man and Our Superhero. I
Yeah.
know it was on the grass, but as you mentioned, they just have that similar running styles here. Both of them kind of tangled just the whole time, and it was one of those races where We Are Back Young Man, he's had a start since this, and he's finished second. Here he finished third, but 0 for 6 to Peter routes for win-win-wins.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is, yep.
Yeah, this was the old win the battle, lose
Lost
the
the
war angle. We are back, young man. Ran well, but it's just tough to come back to those kind of horses, especially when it's right there on paper. Why would I know it's a different surface, but they just got all tangled up last time. Why is it going to be any different today?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment there. And I think maybe you could get a piece just underneath, but it's one of those that he's kind of hard to run to the window on for sure. Race number 7. Watch the tote board on that race. I think that will be very telling.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just going to bet who they're going to bet.
That's fair.
No reason at all.
Yeah, this guy, and you know it more than anybody. Race 7, it's a pick 3. They're dollars here if you've been living under a rock. 6.5 furlongs on the main track here. 62.50 claimers. So we've got a clean field of 7 to 6 on top for both of us. Noble Dreamer.
Well, I knew you were picking this horse, and I'm coming along too. Because why? Well, because Noble Dreamer, she's been doing the Tapeta thing forever and ever and ever. But she's going to get back to the main track today. She's got a win over it. She's perfectly drawn. She's got Paco Lopez as well, and she's also got 6 other gals who are just not all that impressive.
Yeah, we'll show you 2 of those 6 other gals, and that's Miguel's Bell and Madness, who they seem to tangle every single time. Madness always runs second, and Miguel's Bell just runs third.
Yeah, so this is the Motown Mika race, and Motown Mika was going to be 5th off the far turn, and somehow she comes back and wins on the rail too. Great job. I feel like Mika Husbands was aboard. I
think you might be right.
But the point being, you can't take those 2 out of that race.
Yeah. Very
when
tough.
They had it right there, especially Madness. That was your time right there, Madness. That was you. No,
she had no heart with it.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, the 6.5 furlong, she stretches out just a little bit, but that didn't really. When she stretched out to 7, she didn't run too well. So she's one of those that's just kind of so. I think we got the right horse there. Race 8. This is an allowance level. These are 3-year-olds, 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track here. We scratched the 4 McKellen. Was excited to see him come back, but he's a big horse. I don't think he would have liked the Tapeta too much. This is a field of 5. Both of us on the 1, Miss Mary Nell, who put together 2 wins in a row. She's a 4-time winner now.
She's game. I think that's the important thing. She's 3 for 6 on the Tapeta. She has no real edge on any of these, and she's going to have to do it the hard way as the inside speed, but she did it the hard way last time. And we're going to show you the Iron Hand race in a quick second. I'm not enamored with that race, and I kind of just think at the end of the day, maybe she'll just make it 4 for 7 on the Tapeta. She
absolutely could. So here's Patrick's Promise and Iron Hand. Patrick's Promise, they're going to bet heavily, I think, just due to the fact it's Christophe Clement. But
they both ran well. I don't want to take anything away from them.
Nope. You really can't here. Iron Hand, this was a gutsy effort. If anything, we finally figured out that Iron Hand has some grit, because that was the first time stretching out to 2 turns, and that was off of a little bit of a layoff too, freshening up. I mean, 3 months. So.
You know what else we might have found?
What?
Is that Patrick's Promise has got a big, huge hang in him.
Yeah, that's
because if you bet him that race, you were walking straight to the window, and he was going by 2 lengths.
Yeah,
and he almost pulled himself up. The fact he didn't win, I had to see it again in real time there to remind myself how bad of a hang job that was, because he was going by easily, and he didn't want to do it. So that would be very worrisome for me.
Criollo is the one that I left off the ticket, and he was in that race there. But he's one that we talk about all the time. It's just he's his own worst enemy because he has no early foot.
Look at the running style. Yeah. He's out the back. Hey, he's won 3 races. He won 3 in a row. Kudos to him.
Right.
But as we got into be better competition, he struggled quickly to formulate. He was awesome on debut. It's the first time. That was on Tapeta. It's the first time he's going to get back to it as well. And Rohan Crichton, Grade 2 Pate Mile winner. Rohan starting to get a little of his mojo back, I think, too.
You're right. Pate Mile. I forgot that he won that horse, that won with that race. Congrats to him. Very awesome. Yeah, this horse, he might just be I use him in my ticket. I don't really have a strong opinion on any of these horses, but Formulate, he has that light body. He's going to absolutely love getting back to the Tapeta here today. Now, in the finale, it's $35,000 maiden claimers, going to go 1 mile on the turf course. The rails are at 73 feet. It's the same rail setting as yesterday. The 2 horses that won yesterday on paper maybe were a little bit harder to make, but they had speed, and that was close the book.
Yeah.
End of story here. We scratched the 3 Power from Above, the 5 Developed Product, and the 6 Flag Officer. I'm not going to do 10 minus 3 there to tell you how many is left, but the 8 Proud American, this, I don't want to say speed, but at least has been up front.
It's going to be close. I think
Yeah.
you got long shot speed with the 7, Johnny No Time.
Yep.
I can't believe Big Boy Jack was 6-1 yesterday. I thought we'd get way more than
I thought
that.
so too. I know. We don't move the needle. I don't think it was us.
But he's got the ability to be close,
Yep.
involved. You got American Pharaoh on the top of the pedigree. The Triple Crown winner, obviously on the main track, has been a much better turf sire.
I agree completely.
For sure. And this horse, you can see it right there. A total no-show on debut at 1 turn on the main track. Maybe it was a Tapeta, but I also kind of feel like it was 2 turns. Look at the pedigree with Medaglia d'Oro on the bottom. So should be a square price, and let's go with that.
Yeah, this is one of those races that I feel like serious rainbow players will probably buy. The 10, because I don't have the 8 anywhere, and you don't have the 10 anywhere, but it's kind of guessing games. Risk factor, I'm not a fan of this post position at all, but they've gelded him for the first time here. This is first start off the gelding, I should say, and he will try the turf for the first time, which I think will be interesting.
2 for 54 on this barn. How about that?
That's
Can't do it.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
very, very odd to me. Court de Fuego, Chase Sloan, they knocked heads. We'll take a look at the replay here. I think Court de Fuego, on paper at least, could be the one to be on, but in the same breath as that, Murabay, I had him this day.
You have him every day.
I have him every day, but Court de Fuego, if you have any run at all, Murabay is not that great of a horse. How come you can't be a little better than this?
Yeah, Chase Sloan ran way better than Court de Fuego did. He got blitzed, tracing. I mean, Murabay was really good. Look at the fractions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, he got Chase Sloan got totally fried. Court de Fuego didn't do any running at all.
No,
he just passed
not
a
even
bunch
there,
of,
really.
He just passed a few drunken soldiers there in the lane. It was Chase Sloan who did the dirty work, paid the price late. He ran way better. It looks like that's Ronnie's best bet of the day as well, and I totally get it. Now you get Jose D'Angelo with Court de Fuego, so they're going to bet him. And to be fair, it was his first turf start and first route too, so he has every right to improve, whereas Chase Sloan had done it, but I don't know. That kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I just realized with the 10 I get to move in a few spots.
Yeah, you do. It's not going to hurt you.
So that's good. It's a very nice race to end the card and hopefully put some money in your pockets, because as we move on to the lightning round, like we mentioned at the top of the hour, what a really, really good addition of the Royal Palm juveniles. It's Todd Pletcher this year. The 2-year-olds this early has never really been a thing for him.
Right.
And we've got some solid horses coming into those races.
Got to have the fierceness in there tomorrow. This is Beers on Me and Squire. They put on a show.
They did.
Squire, look at what Squire's doing here. He's about 8 lengths behind on the far turn. He's going to win this race. I mean, I get that it fell apart. You don't see 2-year-olds doing that on a short stretch finish line on April 18th. So this is a pretty good win. Patrick Biancone has been very precocious with his 2-year-olds this year, and both of these horses, Beers on Me for Louis Mendez, they're players in these races. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really will be. Just a lot of guessing games with some of these 2-year-olds, but very fun to have them in the spotlight. And then, of course, you get the expenses paid and on to Royal Ascot with those. Moms.
Yep.
Mothers, everybody came from one, and we get to celebrate them on Sunday.
Yeah, pretty cool. So come on out here. It's a good Mother's Day brunch. It's always very, very well received, and treat Mom, because moms deserve it.
Yeah, and we've got the Preakness draw come Monday
right?
evening. Yeah, and Black Eyed Susan will draw Sunday, I believe, and the Preakness card. And just some breaking news with that, we're going to have the 2 Baffert runners now, goal-oriented, who won on the undercard of Preakness, stretching out, Derby. And wow, that horse was impressive.
Yep, so that'll be pretty cool. Rodriguez as well, and still remains to be seen the entirety of the field. We'll figure it all out on Monday.
Yeah, your best bet today?
My best bet today is same as yours, Carrington, right?
Oh, yep, there we go. Your long shot.
All the way in the finale with Kathleen O'Connell on the turf, and that's Proud America.
I like it. We won't show mine because I we're not sure the price on that one.
Okay.
Yep, that
To
was
be
it was
determined.
Theo's Thunder. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see come time for that race there. But that is 9 for us today. Ron Nicoletti will be back for the opener here. Enjoy your Friday afternoon at Gulfstream Park, and thank you so much for joining us every day. Pete Aiello will be upstairs with the scratches in the track conditions.